Hey everyone, it's Michael, and okay, so here's the deal. Originally, this was not the video I wanted to make. The video I wanted to make has been a video I've been teasing for a while, but unfortunately, due to life circumstances, including my voice being damaged, which was why I sounded like how I sounded in the Toriyama video. I mean, of course I am distraught, but it's also because my voice is damaged in the video. So if you're wondering why my voice sounds like how it sounds right now, this is how I'm going to sound for the foreseeable future. Anyway, the whole point I'm trying to make is that, unfortunately or fortunately, this one is a bit of an easier video for me. So this is why you're getting it this week. Boo me later, call me lazy in the comments. I know, sorry. But today we're gonna look at some anime hot takes, and you're gonna like it. Let's talk some anime. So the first one is one that I wouldn't even say is a hot take. I think there is a significant crowd who thinks this, but it's here anyway. JJK is overrated. So my thing with this is that overrated is kind of a relative term when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen, because what are you basing the overrated of? Like, is it overrated in regard to that IGN list that came out with the top 15 shonen that put it at number 3? Yes, I would say that is a little bit of a stretch. But does it deserve to win Anime of the Year? Yes. Is it a quality anime? Yes. In regard to that, I would even say that it's a bit underrated. I do think that Jujutsu Kaisen kind of suffers from a lot of what Dragon Ball Z suffered from when it was popular in its heyday, and that is that you're getting a fan base who is very passionate, but also not accepting of any criticism of the show. So what you tend to have is people who have legitimate gripes with the show getting shouted down, and as a result, they just become louder, because why wouldn't you get loud if someone's trying to shout you down? So yeah, I don't think it's overrated per se, but I do think that there is a polarization in the opinions of Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay, next. So this one I actually found in a thread, and it says, there's no other anime that can run as long as One Piece and still drop heat every week. Detective Conan / Case Closed would like to have a word. But no, I do get what this anime fan is trying to say. I think there does need to be some sort of I guess the word would be appreciation or respect to anime that can go for the 500, 600, or even in One Piece's case, 1,000+ episodes and still put out consistent quality. I just don't think that means that you have to say that One Piece is good based on the fact that it's long. I mean, longevity doesn't necessarily mean that you were elite during that period of longevity, right? It can be respected for sure, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's nothing more than a counting stat in a way. I know that sounds kind of disrespectful, but on the other hand, what I would say to that is that if you were to take something like Fullmetal Alchemist and stretch it to 1,000 episodes or even 500 episodes, is it as good as it is? Probably not. And so the fact that you have shows like Dragon Ball Z, Fairy Tail, Naruto, One Piece, Case Closed, that can stretch to that episode marker and be considered great anime is very, very, very commendable. And I don't think gets a lot of praise from fans. I think if you're able to have a story that stretches out that long and it's still consistently good, it should be respected more. I just don't necessarily think that if the anime wasn't elite during a certain period of time, it needs to be respected. At the end of the day, good anime is good anime, bad anime is bad anime, and in-between anime is in-between anime. That's not to say One Piece is in that in-between section, because I wouldn't say so. I think there's been some years where One Piece has definitely been in an elite conversation. I just don't necessarily think that means that we have to just crown it for being the longest anime. Couple more before we call it a day. Oh, this one's a good one. Unpopular opinion, CGI anime doesn't get enough love. Sure, most are shit, and most people have bad experiences with them, but there are still a goldmine of really good CGI anime I've watched over almost 2 decades. Yeah, you know what? I would agree. There are a couple that spring to mind, and I'll kind of place their picture here, that I think are good. I just think for the most part, it's really hard to get CGI anime to work. I mean, for example, I like Golden Kamuy, and Golden Kamuy uses CGI anime in the show, but I would probably say that it's not great at getting it to work. It's gotten better in later years, but it was never really good at using CGI in it. So it's one of those things where I think it's really hard to make CGI work for your anime. And unfortunately, because of that, it gets a bad rap. The writing can be good, the story can be great, but unfortunately, it's just really hard to make it work. You know, a great example of this is Kingdom. Kingdom's first couple of seasons, great writing, really enjoy the plot points. Even the dub is not bad, but the CGI was such a turnoff that those first 2 seasons are a slog. It's only till they kind of switched to a more subdued nature when it came to the CGI in season 3 onward that it starts to get the love that it deserves. So I guess in this respect, it's not necessarily that the CGI anime is bad because the CGI anime is bad. I just think that a lot of times it's hard to make CGI work. So that's the problem. Oh, okay. My unpopular anime opinion is that Yu Yu Hakusho is better than Hunter x Hunter. I wouldn't necessarily say better, but I do think Yu Yu Hakusho doesn't get enough love. I think Yu Yu Hakusho is in the conversation. I personally wouldn't put it as better, but I think it's in the conversation. It's interesting because I think the problem with Yu Yu Hakusho that doesn't get discussed is that the ending arc of its anime is not very good. The problem with it isn't necessarily that it's bad. The problem with it is that it kind of falls apart towards the end. It's one of those things a lot of people don't talk about. Everyone talks about the Dark Tournament arc. Everyone talks about Sensui Shinobu and that arc. Well, not really. Like, fewer people talk about it, but Yu Yu Hakusho fans talk about that arc, but no one talks about the ending. You know what I'm saying? No one talks about after that. And there is anime after that, and that needs to be considered when talking about it. Yes, Hunter x Hunter's anime is kind of in a hiatus period right now, for sure. Like, I'm not disputing that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to discount Yu Yu Hakusho's ending and say, hey, look at that last part. You know, I don't necessarily think it's bad, in my opinion. I think it's okay, but okay, is it good enough in this conversation here? So I think that's why a lot of times it gets the kind of B tier opinion when it comes to Togashi's work. And finally, so my personal unpopular opinion is that Mashal's second season opening is not good. It's not good. I get it. Everyone's doing the whole dance and it's making the rounds on Instagram and yada, yada, yada. But first of all, I'm old enough to remember that dance at a function, okay? I'm showing my age a little bit, but I remember that dance at a function. It's nothing special, okay? Just want to put it out there. It ain't special. Second of all, I just don't like the song very much. So the whole visual just kind of falls apart for me because the song is so unbearable. And that's just kind of my opinion on that. But if you disagree, comment below. Well, I think I'm going to end it here. This was kind of fun. No, actually, you know, I'll take that back. This was actually really fun. I might do this more in the future, but we'll see. This was kind of a throwaway video. However, if you guys really do like it, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment. Also, like, share, and subscribe. It really does help me out here, and it helps the channel gain momentum. Thank you, and until next time, Peace and love.